Now we're good. Just getting settled in here, guys. It is a rainy ass afternoon here. We got us an unboxing here to do, and we're going to be talking about a bit of a campaign we got coming up on the channel here. Oh, Yankee just went live too. I'll be damned. I haven't been to one of Yankee Outdoors Adventures lives in a minute. I need to get over there and see him. He's gonna think I'm neglecting him. Well, like I said, we got us a hell of a rainy day here today. Try to get this adjusted a little bit more. Share this out on Facebook and Twitter if you can. We got something big happening right here. So this is sort of a pop-up live stream. I got the box in today from Indestructible Shoes. And I'll talk about that here in a minute and what we're going to do with this campaign I got going on. So we're just getting everybody time to get in here for a minute. We'll just hang out here for a second. If you could, please share this out on Facebook, Twitter, hit that thumbs up. Let everybody know we're streaming right now. It's sort of an emergency stream, kind of just popped up out of nowhere. Get this over on live chat so I can see everybody's comments. Like a lot of other people, Indestructible Shoes got a hold of me a couple weeks back and said that they wanted me to take on the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. Now, the way that the Indestructible Shoes Challenge works is they send you a pair of shoes, and you can, look it up. You can see all kinds of challenges out there where people are taking hammers to these shoes, they're taking blow torches to them, they're cutting them up with saws, they're running over them with their trucks, they're doing all this shit on the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. And that's kind of the trend. They send you a pair of indestructible shoes and you try to destroy them. Or at least that's what these guys have been doing with the idea. And that's the gimmick. I mean, they call them indestructible shoes, so they send them, the guys, take them out in the garage, kind of like where I'm sitting at right now, and they do whatever they can to destroy the shoes. Hey, Killer Will, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Indestructible Shoes got a hold of me a couple weeks back, said, hey, Huntsman, we want you to take the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. And Huntsman got back in touch with Indestructible Shoes and said, look, I don't sell products on my YouTube channel. I do not take commissions for any of the items that you see on my YouTube channel, so your deal really don't work for me. The exchange is they send you a pair of shoes, you destroy them, you put the plug out, that gives them advertisement. That's all they're looking for is advertisement, right? They give you a discount code which saves you guys like 10-20% off of the shoes or whatever piece of gear that the YouTuber happens to be plugging. That YouTuber in turn gets about a 10-20% commission for everything that they sell. So just right here for this example, if I took this deal with Indestructible Shoes and you guys went out and bought a pair and that you used my discount code to get you a pair, then I would earn 10% commission for every pair of shoes that I help sell. So they give me a kickback for plugging it to you guys. And that's the way with every YouTuber who plugs Squarespace or Bushcraft survival gear or anything like that. Big companies will get in touch with them, say, we'll give you a kickback if you put this up on your channel and get everybody wanting to buy this shit, make it a trend. Hidden Woodsman does it with their gear. They get in touch with the great big YouTube channels. Malcolm gets in touch with them and says, hey, we'll give you a free backpack and a commission if you plug this gear on your channel and get everybody in the outdoors community wanting this shit just because you're carrying it. So they're making money off the exchange. It's not an honest review. We do honest reviews here on the channel, and I am not on YouTube or in the outdoors or doing the bushcraft survival thing to make a profit. I'm not trying to make a living off all this shit. And I sure as hell ain't accepting a kickback from a company just to put a free advertisement up on my channel, because that would just be whoring you guys out. I'd be force-feeding you shit, and we're not going to do that. So I made a deal with Indestructible Shoes, and I said I do not take kickbacks on my channel. I do not accept money to promote gear that does not work. I do not accept money to promote products that are just all hype and no performance. I sure as hell ain't going to promote just a fancy logo or, you know, something that's jacked up 10,000 times between production and sales. So my deal with Indestructible Shoes is, yeah, I'll do your Indestructible Shoes challenge, but if you want me to do the challenge, I'm going to do it my way. And my way is, I'm not going to bring the shoes out to my garage and do a 20-minute plug on just destroying the shoes, because anybody can actually destroy the shoes. They're well built, and they got steel toes in them, so they can take a beating just like that. Exactly, Killer Whale, and that's exactly what I was getting to. So they bring them out to their garage or into their little lab type environment, and they do all of this crazy shit. I've seen them blowtorch, shot with arrows, run over with trucks. They take cutters to them, all kinds of shit. Stab them with knives. And the big one is stepping on a board full of nails. You see them, they put like 2 or 3 dozen nails into a board, and then they wear the indestructible shoe, and they step down on that board to see if the nails go through the sole of the shoe. Well, obviously, you could do that with any fucking shoe because it's equal mass displacement. If you take a dozen fucking nails and put it in a board, your weight is displaced across all of those nails, so that's why they don't poke through. And that's the same trick with, you see people laying on a bed of nails. It's equal mass displacement. That's why they never get stabbed with the nails, because their body weight is distributed across the nails, and it just, there's no weight, there's no pressure point at the tip of any of those nails to poke through. So if you're seeing the Indestructible Shoes challenge and these dumb little wannabe scientists out there are putting a bunch of fucking nails in a board and then using the shoes to step on that board, it's equal mass displacement. They're not going to puncture a hole in any fucking shoe the way that they're doing that. If you want to puncture a hole in the shoe, you use one nail. One nail, and I guarantee you, your body weight will put that nail through the sole of this shoe. That's why they don't do it, though. So the Indestructible Shoes, it's a myth, it's a hype, whatever. So old Huntsman's doing the Indestructible Shoe Challenge. I will be getting paid the commission for every pair of shoes that you guys use my discount code for to get this pair yourself. But here's the spin that old Huntsman's putting on it. I'm going to do the unboxing today. I am not going to destroy these shoes in my garage. We're going to wear these in the Huntsman series. We're going to be out in the woods. We're going to be tearing these apart in real time, real environment. So we're going to actually wear these. We're going to try these, this pair here, the pair that's in this box, we're going to wear them for a year. And we're going to track their progress throughout the year, throughout all of the terrain, all the weather conditions, everything that we go through in the outdoors. So if we can wear these shoes for a year in our type of terrain and environment and in all weather conditions and they hold up, then we can promote them as a good pair of fucking shoes. If they don't hold up, crossing rivers and, you know, being in the snow, being in the mud, all this other shit, and the beating that I put them through over the next years, if they don't hold up, I won't promote them. As far as the commission goes, for anybody that wants to get the 10% off by using my promo code, the commission, the 100% of all the money that I raise by using these shoes in the Huntsman series is going to be donated to a nonprofit organization called One Tree Planted. One Tree Planted will plant one tree for every single dollar that we raise, and they plant trees all over the world. So being in the outdoors, and we're not going to try to get into the discussion of global warming or anything like that, but being in the outdoors, whenever you see deforestation, whenever you see the wildfires that's going on all over the world and things like that, it kind of makes it feel like our world, the outdoorsman world, is in danger, that it's shrinking. So 100% of the commissions that I make off of wearing the Indestructible Shoes in this outdoors challenge will be donated to One Tree to help reforest some of the world. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we are going to try to do. For every pair of shoes that we can sell under the Huntsman promo code, and you can get that in the link down in the description of this live stream, and that link will also be available in all of my future videos as long as we're wearing the shoes. If you use my discount code, the commission that I get off of it, 100% of that commission will be donated to plant trees all over the world and help us get some of our forests back. So we're going to be raising money for One Tree Planted, nonprofit organization. And the reason I chose One Tree Planted is because they have interactive maps where we can actually monitor where our trees are being planted and where in the world we are actually helping out at in real time. So whenever I do an update, which will probably be a monthly update, or however often I can get you guys an update on how much money we've raised for One Tree Planted, we can look at that interactive map, and we know exactly where our shoes, the money, the commission money from our shoes went, and what forest they help boost with new trees. So that's how I could spin off taking a kickback from a company to promote their products. If you want to give me a commission, I will take that commission and I will somehow invest it into a nonprofit organization, whether it's the World Wildlife Foundation or One Tree Planted, where we're helping out with the forest and replanting trees all over the world. Whatever nonprofit organization I can come up with, or that I can research and find that they are actually doing what their mission statement says that they're doing, that's where the money from my channel is going to get donated to. So we have a community cause here. You're not just buying into me hyping up a product. You are actually helping plant trees. So if you go out and buy you a pair of Indestructible shoes and you use my promo code to do it, you're not just planting one tree. If I get a 20% commission off of that sale, that's more than $1. For every dollar we raise, that's one tree. So for every pair of shoes that you buy, that could be like 20 trees that you're planting all around the world. So you're involved in the campaign just by buying the shoes. If you don't want to go out and buy the shoes, that's fine. I'm not going to force you. I'm not even going to recommend that you guys go out and buy Indestructible shoes, because I ain't even got them out of the box to test them yet. How can I recommend something that I ain't tested yet? If you guys don't want to buy the shoes and you don't want to go through that whole process, then you can always go to onetreeplanted.org, links down in the description of the live stream, and you can donate $1, or you can donate however much money you want to donate directly to One Tree. And they'll go out and they'll plant your tree for you, and then you can get updates of where in the world that you helped with the reforestation project. So you don't have to get a pair of Indestructible shoes to be part of the Huntsman Indestructible World campaign. All you have to do is somehow, whether it's through buying the shoes and I donate the money, or you guys go out and donate the money directly to One Tree Planted, we're helping get the forest back up and running. We're helping with deforestation. We're helping with, get everything back to where, as much as we can. So I'm not going to say go out and buy a pair of Indestructible shoes just because I'm going to get a commission on the kickback. I'm not going to give you guys a promo code or any of that shit so I can make money. I'm going to give you the code so we can raise money as a community to help One Tree Planted get some more trees out there and get our forest back up and running, which is a pretty good spin. And I'll do that with every product. That if an Amazon store comes at me or a company comes at me and they says, hey, we'll give you a 10 or 20% commission, that commission is always going to go to a nonprofit that either helps wildlife or some sort of nature conservation program. We just have to research them and make sure that their program is doing exactly what they say they're doing, because the CEOs and the people in the office of those programs get massive salaries. For it being a non-profit organization, they are living pretty fucking well for running a non-profit organization. They are getting paid hundreds and between $100,000 and $200,000 a year to run those programs. So yeah, they're getting paid. They're living the sweet life and claiming it's a non-profit. They're making a hell of a profit off of it personally. One sec, guys. It's getting a little dark. Ooh, bump you. Cast a little more light on the subject. So that's how old Huntsman is spending commission sales on YouTube. Like I said, Indestructible Shoes is getting hold of everybody right now. They're getting hold of outdoorsmen left and right. I've seen people that I'm subscribed to doing the Indestructible Shoes Challenge, where they just go out and they tear them up in the garage or something like that. They get a free pair of shoes. They get 20% commission for every pair that they sell, and they ain't doing nothing with that. After that, they're just keeping that money. So they do one plug. They keep the money off of whatever their subscribers buy into, and that's just profit on YouTube. So I'm not going to be like those guys. I'm not going to sell out like that. I'm not on YouTube, and I'm not doing everything that I do to make money. I'll make my money the hard way. So we're going to donate our money. We'll donate it to One Tree Planted, and like I said, for every dollar that we raise, that's one tree. So if my commission off of a pair of these is, say, 10 bucks. That's 10 trees. And for, you know, and that goes on and on and on. However long these shoes last, we'll keep running the campaign. We'll keep that shit right there in the metadata of the channel. So on every video, if you don't have the information, you can always go down to the link in the description and, you know, go out and buy you a pair of Indestructible shoes, knowing that I'm not going to get a kickback for your purchase. I'm going to donate that money to plant trees. So here it is outside of the shipping box. There's our Indestructible logo right there. Good company as far as I can tell. I mean, but like I said, if you get if your company is using YouTubers and a 10% or 20% commission to plug your product, is the only reason that you would be motivated to do that is because it's cheaper than going out and actually running an ad campaign. You can buy a YouTuber a lot fucking easier and a lot cheaper than running like a Google ad campaign. And you got a target audience, or at least a reach, you know. Just dropped my lane. It'll start getting dark fast. The problem that they run into is you can't buy a Huntsman. I can't be bought, I can't be reasoned with, or anything like that. So if you come at me, we got to make some sort of alternate deal, because you can't buy me, you can't buy my subscribers from me. So here's our pair. And these are very fitting for me. Here's our pair of Indestructible shoes, and we got black and white camo on these, and they do have a heavy sole to them, and they're orange. So if I lose them out in the woods, I'll be able to find them, unlike the iPhone that I lost out there. Pretty good pair of camo shoes. Not a lot of ankle support because they are low tops. They do have that wraparound on your ankle, but they are low tops, so you're not going to get a lot of ankle support out of these for hiking. Kind of got a Kevlar feel to them, so you probably can't cut through them too easy, and they do have that real heavy reinforced steel toe in there. So this is the pair that we're going to be wearing throughout the next year. We're not going to cut these up here in the garage. We're not going to do a 10, 15, 20 minute Indestructible Shoes challenge video where we're just hacking these all to hell. We're going to take them out in a real environment, wear them for a reasonable amount of time, which is 1 year, and see how they hold up over a year. That's an honest review. That's an honest test of these shoes. We're not going to come out here with a saw or a bow and arrow or a blowtorch or run over them with my truck or anything like that. Everybody else does that shit. We're not trying to be like everybody else. We're going to see how these hold up over an entire year. And during that year, every pair of shoes that we sell as a community, all that money will be planting trees for the rest of the year. So sorry, Indestructible Shoes, if you were looking for a quick plug out of the Huntsman. The Huntsman does not do instantaneous commercials on his channel. If your product does not hold up for at least a year, I'm not going to promote it. I'm not going to plug it, and I will come right back on here on a fucking live stream and say, these sons of bitches fell apart within a year after I bought them. For being indestructible, we tore the hell out of them and they didn't hold up. So we're going to do an honest review. We're going to do an honest field test of the Indestructible shoes. We're going to be wearing them to work. We're going to be wearing them everywhere. Work, play, outdoors, hunting, fishing, crossing rivers, climbing rocks. Everything that you see me do on my channel, we're going to be putting these shoes through for at least a year. And we're going to run the campaign for at least this first year and see how it takes off. If other people jump in on donating the money from Indestructible Shoes to a nonprofit, whether it's for a reforestation or to help out wildlife, more power to them. Hey, Jefferson. So, like I said, if Indestructible Shoes was looking for an instantaneous plug for me, they're going to come out a bit disappointed because I just don't do that. I've never done it. It's something that I've stood against since I started my channel, really. You can't buy me. You can't send me a product, or you can't promise me money and get me to say what you want me to say or get me to do what you want me to do. If you get me involved, I'm going to do it my way, or it's not going to get done at all. So, one more time. We're taking on the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. But rather than doing a 10 or 15 minute video with the Indestructible Shoes Challenge, we are actually going to wear the shoes for an entire year, and throughout the entire year, we are going to be raising money from our commission as a community to donate to One Tree Planted and see how many trees that we can get planted through the purchase of these shoes for the next year. So October of this next year, we'll see how many trees we've planted just plugging Indestructible Shoes for them. So you guys can get all of the information that you need down in the description of this live stream and throughout my future videos. There's plenty of information down there giving a breakdown of the Huntsman's Indestructible World Campaign, where we're taking the Indestructible Shoes Challenge and adding it to one tree planted. So for every pair of shoes that we sell, we can plant a dozen trees or more all around the world and help with reforestation, which also helps out the wildlife, it helps out the ecosystem, helps out the environment. Doesn't matter what you think about global warming or any of that other shit that's trending in the world today. It's not about global warming or anything like that. We see wildfires all over. We see storms ripping shit apart. I mean, the ecosystem is screwed. The more that we can do to get it back up and running, the better. So that's how I came up with the Indestructible World Challenge, because if enough people get together and they join these vetted nonprofit organizations, and they use their influence, social media influence, to support nonprofits that either help the environment by planting trees or however it is they're doing it. They could even be cleaning up garbage, or the World Wildlife Federation, where they're trying to save endangered species and things like that. I mean, there's millions of programs all over the world that you can get involved in. Some of them are probably right in your local area, so you can check with your check your local area. If you want to donate to a local place, do it local. If you want to donate to the world, donate to the world. We're donating to the world just because we have a worldwide audience. Indestructible Shoes is tagging everybody that they can, saying we want you to do the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. Now, the original people that came up with, the idea they came up with is that they just took the word indestructible and they destroyed it. We're taking the word indestructible and we're taking it from a shoe company to the planet. Because if we get involved with this, if we're constantly planting more trees than what's getting tore down, or we're helping out more wild animals than what poachers are killing, then we win. So you can't stop it. But in order to get to that point where we have renewable resources, the wildlife's protected, the forests are being replanted, it takes a global effort. It takes a hell of a lot bigger than what my channel is. I mean, my channel is tiny compared to a lot of others. But a lot of other people should be doing this shit too. It shouldn't just be me. It shouldn't be this little ass redneck YouTuber from Northeast Ohio coming up with this idea. It should have been one of the fucking YouTubers that have millions of subscribers, or even 100,000 subscribers. It should have been one of those guys. But those guys fucking sold out a long time ago. They're all numbers and greed right now. If a company says, we'll give you a kickback, they're fucking eating it up like it's goddamn crack. And they're a bunch of fucking crack whores, let me tell you. I won't be bought like that. It shouldn't be me. It shouldn't be me coming up with an Indestructible Shoes Challenge where all of the fucking commission that I get from the sale of these shoes using my discount code goes to either wildlife conservation or reforestation, where we're getting the forest back up and running and basically protecting our way of life. I mean, that seems like a win-win for me. The outdoors has been my way of life since I was born. Country has been my way of life since I was born. I cannot stand not being in the woods. But the more people there are, the less woods there is. So it's the people's responsibility to protect the forest. It ain't the forest's responsibility to serve the people. We have this spin, we have this thing going on where, go out into the woods and reconnect with nature. It's good for your mental health and all of this. Mother Nature is not responsible for your fucking mental health. She's not there to be your therapist. She just is. She don't give any more a fuck about you than I do. To be honest, Mother Nature don't care. If anything, she wants your fucking ass out of there because you're leaving garbage behind. Even with the leave no trace philosophy, every time you step into the forest, you're interfering with the natural order of things. You don't belong there. That's why the wildlife run away from you. Because you don't belong there. If you did belong there, they wouldn't run away from you. They just stand there and mingle around with you. Humans don't belong in the wilderness anymore. So every time we go out there, we have an impact. There's always a trace. Mother Nature knows that you're there. The animals know that you're there. The plants know that you're there, and they can feel your presence long after you're gone. The only thing that we can do is whenever, not only pick up our shit whenever we leave our camps or whenever we leave the forest or pick up other people's shit whenever we find it in the forest, is whenever we get back home and we're back with our electricity and our fossil fuels and our pollution and all of the other normal stuff that makes our lives soft and squishy and comfortable, is do something, anything, to support the world that we just left, the world that we just took from. Bushcrafters, survivalists, outdoorsmen, even just country folk are out in the woods, and the majority of them on YouTube are out in the woods trying to build a big enough following where they can make money off of it. And that's bullshit. You're just whoring out a way of life. You're whoring out Mother Nature just so you can get this extra check a month. It's bullshit. And even when Indestructible Shoes said, hey, we'll give you a 20% commission, I don't want your fucking money. I want quality gear, and I'll take your goddamn money, and I'll donate it to support the world that I love, the world that I'm thriving in. And I'm thriving in it not because I'm making a profit off of it, but because that's just my world. I can't stand being around fucking people. I'm antisocial. I'm an asshole. The world's probably better off than I'm out in the woods most of the time. I know my wife's happier whenever I'm out in the woods, because, you know, I'm annoying as shit whenever, you know, for the most part. But I'm happy when I'm in the woods. I'm relaxed. I feel good. You know, we're doing our thing. We're in our comfort zone out there. We're very uncomfortable, or very comfortable being in uncomfortable situations. So yeah, I'm wanting to give old Huntsman a 20% commission for the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. Alright. I'm going to take that 20% and I'm going to go plant some trees. And anybody that follows the links down in the description of this live stream and all of my future videos, as long as we are wearing the Indestructible Shoes, will help me plant trees too. By the end of the year, we could be planting hundreds of thousands of fucking trees all over the world. But like I said, it shouldn't be me. And you don't have to go out and buy a pair of Indestructible Shoes to join this campaign. All you have to do is go to onetreeplanted.org, links down in the description. Donate yourself. Just donate $1. That's one tree. That one tree makes a difference. And it's not just, that's a difference that will last long beyond your lifetime. Because one tree planted doesn't just go out and plant random trees. They plant them in specific areas and they monitor the growth and the health of those trees throughout their life cycle. So you're not just planting a tree out there and wishing it the best of luck. Your tree actually gets tended to and taken care of, and they monitor the growth of those trees to make sure they're getting the bang for their buck too. They want these trees healthy and strong and lasting for generations, not something that's just thrown out there and left to die, you know, or left to its own devices, because any organization can go out there and plant trees, but if they're not maintaining those trees afterwards, for all you know, they're just getting hacked down, mowed over, or pollution's killing them, or disease is killing them. So the whole effort was for nothing. But One Tree Planted actually monitors their trees. They work and they have a huge, long, lengthy process for everybody involved in their program. You can't just go out and plant a tree. You have to be able to monitor that tree. Every single tree that they plant gets monitored forever, for as long as this thing goes. Those trees have to last for generations, not just for a couple of months before something kills them off. And if the tree does happen to die for whatever reason, then they replace that tree for free. So, One Tree Planted was the best organization that I could find on a whim that actually follows through, and we can have real-time updates. We get a worldwide map that monitors not just our trees, but every tree that they've planted, and all of the trees that are being taken away for one reason or another, whether it's deforestation or a forest fire or whatever. They monitor the comings and goings of the trees. They are the tree people. We're trying to help keep everything on that map green instead of red. And that's what we're doing with the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. We're not going to come out here in the garage. We're not going to cut them up. We're not going to shoot them with an arrow. We're not going to stab them with knives. We're not going to try the equal mass displacement where we're putting a bunch of nails in the board and saying, oh, the nails don't go through the soles because there's a fucking dozen nails and your weight's displaced over the nails. We're not doing any of that shit. We're going to wear these things for an entire year. Every fucking day for a year. Now, in the wintertime, it's going to suck. If I'm out in the woods wearing these shoes in the wintertime, it's going to suck. One, they're not waterproof shoes. They are heavily reinforced soles. They got a good sole to them. They got that Kevlar cover on them, but they have a steel toe. Y'all ever wear steel toe boots in the wintertime? They get cold as fuck. And I guarantee you, Indestructible Shoes, if it gets below 0 out here, oh, Huntsman is not wearing your panty ass little fucking shoes out into the woods. I'm wearing my fucking mammoths where I don't freeze to death. These things are not winter shoes, they're summer shoes. If they come up with a winter shoe design that has insulation in it and they get rid of that goddamn reinforced steel toe in the front of them, that makes them so-called indestructible. If they come out with a winter hiker, hell yeah, call it the Huntsman's Winter Hiker. I'll give you a plug that way. But that shoe, if you make a winter hiker, you make an outdoor shoe, it better be waterproof, it better have insulation in it, and it better be able to hold up in all kinds of weather and all kinds of terrain. These are not meant for that, and we're going to tear the shit out of them and prove that, I'm thinking. Because I forge rivers, I'm in and out of the creek all the time. I have to cross the creek 3 times just to get to my camp. So I'm in and out of the water all the time. These fuckers aren't waterproof. The boots that I'm wearing right now are waterproof. These aren't. So that's going to suck. But we're going to have water in and out of the shoes because whenever the water gets in and out of the shoes and it's squishing around in there, that's what breaks the glue down on the sole and eventually ends up killing your shoe. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of steel-toe boots either. I've had to wear them for, my type of work before because usually I'm lifting heavy shit and it's just a job requirement for insurance reasons. But, yeah, indestructible shoes, they call them indestructible because they got a really heavy reinforced steel toe in them. And they got that Kevlar outer coating which keeps them from getting cut. But you can destroy them. I got a fucking 20-pound sledgehammer here. I bet you I could put a dent in that steel toe. It's not going to flatten it out. That's why they call them indestructible, because they can take a hit. They can take one hit, at least. But, I don't know. I've seen guys even shoot these things with guns. Dumb shit. Oh, Huntsman don't sell out like that. We're not going to be like everybody else doing the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. It's got to last a year, or it ain't a good product. And that's the same. I got Amazon stores contacting me all the time. All the fucking time. Saying, hey, we want you to test out our product. And some of the products, man, I'm getting offered have no business in the outdoors. I'm like, did you even watch my fucking channel to see what I do? I had this company send me a microphone. A corded microphone that plugs into a computer. Saying, hey, we want you to try this microphone out. Well, how the fuck is that going to help me on my channel? I'm in the outdoors all the time. It's an outdoors channel. I'm not a vlogger. Do I look like a fucking vlogger? With a bunch of pink shit and pillows behind me? Sitting on my bed? No job? I ain't no fucking vlogger. I ain't gonna promote your little fucking microphone. I can't do nothing with it. It don't plug into my camera. It don't plug into my iPhone. It doesn't make my audio any better because it's not compatible with my devices. I can't use it. So how the fuck am I gonna review it? Oh, man. But I got Amazon stores contacting me all the time saying, try this out, try this out. The latest was the Mammoth blanket. They sent me the blanket to test out over the winter. And again, I don't get a commission for plugging the blanket. They just wanted an honest review. They wanted somebody to actually go out and field test it. They don't want it promoted. They're not looking to give you guys 20% off. They want it field tested. They need a lab type field test, which is an honest review means you go out and you test it in the field for not just one night. You test it over the course of a year and see how the damn thing performs. And in the course of that year, if it fails, you make notes of that failure. And then you contact the company and say, these are the good points. This is what you need to work on. So then they can improve their product. That Mammoth blanket is a big sumbitch. It is so bulky that it would be uncomfortable attaching it to my backpack. But that is the one blanket that I'll be using in the wintertime. When I go out for winter solo overnighters or anything like that, that's the one blanket I'll take. And I won't need a bed pad or anything with that blanket because we got a waterproof, windproof outside of the blanket. That's ripstop nylon. We got a heat reflective liner at the core of the blanket so it reflects your body heat back to you. And we have a soft liner on the inside that's just good for cozying up and being warm in. I mean, it's a perfect blanket. And I knew that as soon as I opened it up and seen how it was constructed and being able to feel that reflective barrier in the middle of the blanket. My problem with it is it's a big son of a bitch, but it's a full body blanket. It would replace Sub-Zero, like, what am I trying to think of here? Like a bivy, or, you know, the fucking, any kind of Sub-Zero blanket, or, you know, that kind of thing. It just replaces it all. It's a lot thinner. It's a little bit lighter at just over 4 pounds, but it's a damn good blanket. That's what I'm going to be testing out throughout this winter. If I go through a winter night and that damn blanket don't hold up, I ain't going to fucking be talking about the mammoth blanket anymore on my channel. I do want to take it out in a rainstorm too. And, you know, it's fall. There's going to be a lot of rainstorms, a lot of cold rainstorms coming. So I'm going to take that blanket out rather than using a tarp or hanging out at the shelter. We're going to go out in the woods with nothing but the blanket. And we're going to do a day hike with nothing but the blanket. So whenever it starts downpouring, that blanket's supposed to be waterproof. That's going to be my poncho. That's going to be, that blanket is what's going to have to get me out of the rain and keep me dry. Hey, David, we're talking about whoring out the Indestructible Shoes challenge today because Indestructible Shoes sent me a free pair of Indestructible Shoes to tear apart. And everybody else that takes on this challenge is doing it within 15-20 minute videos. They're shooting them and they're running over them with trucks and stabbing nails to them, taking saws to them, taking blowtorches to them. What we are going to do is we're going to be wearing the Indestructible Shoes for the next year, see how they hold up in a real life environment rather than in somebody's garage with a bunch of power tools held up to them. And we're going to donate all of the money that we raised by, you know, doing this little product with Indestructible Shoes to One Tree Planted. So all of that money goes to planting trees all over the world, and it helps stop deforestation. Boom. And it took a little-ass YouTuber to come up with this idea. It shouldn't have been me. And what got that in my head was one of the guys that I'm subscribed to, he has over 100,000 followers, right? And it's an archery channel, has over 100,000 followers. You know, if he posts a video, he probably gets 100,000 views within the first few minutes. I mean, the guy's just, I mean, it's a good channel. But he went and whored himself out to the Indestructible Shoes challenge. And he got him a pair of Indestructible Shoes. And since he has an archery channel, of course, he hung them up on the wall and shot them with a bow and arrow, because that's what this guy does. And shooting them with the bow and arrow, he got his 20% commission kickback and called it a day. He destroyed the shoes. He got him a free pair of shoes in the exchange, and then he gets the 20% commission off of everybody that he, you know, sold his snake oil to. Viewers didn't really know that, and no YouTuber really says that. Whenever they say, hey, use my promo code to get 10% off of your purchase, they're not telling you that promo code is actually a tracker, and it tracks their sales and keeps it separated from other sales, so the company knows exactly how much of a commission to pay that person. So if you see Joe Robinette plugging Hidden Woodsman backpacks, it's because Malcolm at his Hidden Woodsman is giving Joe Robinette money to say those things. Whether the backpack is good or not, Joe's going to say it because he was paid to say it. And Joe's not going to come out and say, hey, Malcolm's going to give me 20% if you guys go out and buy this backpack because I said so. That's where that whore mentality comes in. That's where you sell out to the companies, whether it's a good product or not. And like I said, I got Amazon stores coming at me left and right saying, plug this product. Plug this product, plug this product. No, boys, I have to turn down an Amazon promotion 2 or 3 times a fucking day. I don't know why Amazon is hitting me so fucking hard. I'm not that big of a channel. I don't get a massive amount of views. But for some reason, they just think that, oh, Huntsman here is an easy target, and I'm just going to sell everything that I can sell and get commission off of it, or not get a commission at all. They'll say, we'll give you one of these for free if you just plug it on your channel. Why the fuck would I do that? I don't even know if the damn thing works or not. So I wouldn't send it to me, because if you send it to me and I don't like it or it fails, you get a bad review. Because I have a really bad habit of telling the truth. I'm just no too fucking good at lying. So it's just like the microphone deal. They send me this microphone and then they want to harass me. I told them I didn't want it. They sent it to me anyway. So they send me this microphone and it has a jack on it that's not compatible with any of my filming devices and say, we want you to test that out and give us a positive review. And I got to get a hold of these little Chinese bastards and say, look, I can't give you a positive review. I can't review it at all because I can't use the fucking thing. So I can't promote it. I can't plug it on my channel. I can't even use it. Chances are my subscribers can't even use it. I don't know a lot of vloggers that are subscribed to me that need a pin-on microphone with a fucking leash attached to it where they can only get like 3 feet away from their fucking device and, you know, they're out of line. No, it doesn't work. That product doesn't work. But Amazon company gets a hold of me and says, hey, Huntsman, we got this mammoth blanket, heat reflective blanket, waterproof, windproof, ripstop nylon blanket. We want you to field test it for, you know, a year or two and let us know how it holds up. The company never said anything about me mentioning it on my channel. They didn't say, hey, we want you to promote this. They didn't say, hey, we'll give you a 20% commission for sales. No, they just said, hey, we need somebody to field test this. Real environment. We need a lab test. Write down what works and what don't. Let us know. And that was it. It was a completely private exchange. Yeah, I'm going to use it on my channel because it's outdoors gear. It's relative to my content. It will help me out in an outdoors environment, or it will fail me in an outdoors environment, and it'll say, look, it was shit. But if it's outdoors gear and they want to send me one for free, yeah, I'll go out and test it. I don't know how well it's going to hold up through that test because we're a little rough out there. I'll give you an honest review. I'll tell you what works and what don't. Other than that, I'm not going to be plugging merchandise on my channel all the time trying to sell it for you. You're not going to be, you know how bushcrafters, whenever they first get out to the woods, that opening scene, you see them walking into the woods and they do this little walk-in sequence, and then they take their fancy little hidden woodsman backpack and they slam it down in front of the tree and they make sure that that backpack is centered just right with the camera, where the camera picks up that backpack logo and the Joe Robinette patch and all of that shit, thinking that this little fucking hidden plug in their channel is going to make them go over on YouTube. It's going to make them the most popular person ever. The reason they do that is because they got fucking paid to do it, or they're thinking that by piggybacking off this other son of a bitch's work, it's going to somehow make them more popular. And it doesn't work. The guys that you see doing that still have like 500 subscribers. They ain't got nowhere because they're just like everybody else. If you've seen them one, you've seen them all. Same goes with the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. You get a bunch of fucking guys together with a bunch of fucking power tools and a big-ass 4x4 just like the one that I got, and they go out to their garage, and they go out to their driveway, and they film a 20-minute video to get a 20% commission for as long as that campaign runs. Horse! And if you've seen one Indestructible Shoes Challenge, you've seen them all. It's the same shit over and over and over again. We're not going to do that. We're going to wear them for a year. We're going to field test them just like we do any other product. If they hold up through the field test, great. If they don't hold up through the field test, by the end of this campaign, next October, we're going to get right back on here on a fucking live stream, sitting right where I'm sitting at now, and say, Indestructible Shoes got tore the fuck up during this last year, and this is what they look like now. So, today we're doing the unboxing, and we're announcing the campaign for Huntsman's Indestructible World campaign, where we are taking Indestructible Shoes, this pair that we just busted out of the box today, you know, fresh off the fucking mass-produced line. We're going to take a pair of Indestructible Shoes, and we're going to run an Indestructible World campaign where all of the commission from our shoes goes to buying trees with OneTreePlanted.org, nonprofit organization. So all of our commission money goes to planting trees all over the world. We'll do it for a year. We'll see how these hold up, and also at the end of that year, we'll see how many trees that we as a community planted with the Huntsman's Indestructible World campaign. And I'm not the only one that can do this campaign. Anybody else out there that's got a channel or a social media page, plug it. Say, we're doing the Indestructible World campaign where we're taking Indestructible Shoes, and the profits that we make off of these shoes is going to be donated to planting trees. Whether you do it with a local organization or you do it with One Tree Planted, we're going to plant trees with the profits that we would normally get off of these shoes. That's the campaign. And you don't have to buy the shoes to be part of the campaign. If you don't want to go out and spend money on a pair of Indestructible shoes, you can always go to onetreeplanted.org, donate $1, and that'll plant one tree. You'll know what country your tree got planted in, and you'll be able to monitor its health and growth throughout its lifespan, for as long as the company can continue monitoring them, which is why we do it. We get an interactive map where we can see deforestation versus our efforts, which is really cool. So whenever we come back like a month from now, let's say I sell 2 pairs of shoes, or my subscribers or my viewers, whether you're subscribed or not, we sell 2 pairs of Indestructible shoes, and you guys use my discount code, which is the tracker. You guys use my discount code to buy a pair of Indestructible shoes. By the end of November, or the first part of November, we sold 2 pairs of shoes, which ain't a lot, right? It ain't a lot for Indestructible shoes, but that 20% went up to 40%. So all of that money, 40% off of 2 sales, goes to buying trees. We'll have planted 20 fucking trees at least, just by selling 2 pairs of shoes. So we're going to get more out of the exchange than Indestructible shoes is. Because our goal is not to sell Indestructible shoes. Our goal is to raise money for the nonprofit organization, One Tree Planted, and see how many trees that we can plant. Whether you buy the shoes and the money goes to, purchasing 10 trees to plant somewhere in the world, or if you go to onetreeplanted.org and donate $1 to yourself and by yourself, and just 1 tree gets planted. 1 tree is better than no trees at all. And if a dozen people go out there and do the $1 donation directly to One Tree Planted, that's 12 trees that we right here started, right here on this live stream. It all started right here on this live stream, timestamped, documented, and everything. So however big this thing gets, or however people want to spin it off as their own idea, it started right here on my channel, my tiny ass little channel. And it shouldn't have been me. It should have been a bigger YouTuber. It should have been somebody with 100,000 or 1 million subscribers. It should have been PewDiePie saying, hey, we're going to take the money donated to this live stream, or the money donated to this campaign, and put it into planting trees, or wildlife preservation, or something besides their own fucking pockets, so they don't have to work a real job. Donate that money and do some good in the world. We're sitting here on a live stream right now. Now, in order to run this live stream, that takes electricity. That takes a cell phone signal. All of that comes from fossil fuels. All of that comes from pollution. It creates pollution. I'm operating on a wireless signal right now. That's radiation. We're making an impact just streaming. And we ain't doing nothing to offset it, except drinking bourbon. But we are raising awareness for One Tree Planted as a nonprofit organization. And we are trying to plant some fucking trees with it. So we're giving back. Oh, they're not going to give up their profits. Absolutely not. Because they're a bunch of whores. And whores are only worried about money. And how many times have I said that, guys? How many times have I said that on my channel, that these big YouTubers don't see you as individuals? They don't see you as fans. They see you as cattle. And every one of you has a dollar sign on your forehead, and that dollar sign rolls over if you happen to be buying into their shit. It rolls over to $2 signs or $3 signs. So in exchange for all of the shit that you're giving them, they give you a thumbs up. That's all they have to do. Give you a heart. It made your fucking day. Oh, Joe Robinette hearted my comment on his latest video. My life is complete. You fucking idiot. If a big YouTuber, somebody with 100,000 or 1 million followers, or 500,000 followers, or however many, more than me, did this same thing, they'd plant a whole damn forest within a week. But they ain't going to do it, because they're not worried about the environment. And chances are they're not really outdoorsmen. Bigger YouTubers, they're gamers. They're not going outdoors. They're buying video games. Or, they're doing something else. Or even the outdoorsmen, they're not. You never really see them involved in conservation efforts, or protecting the wildlife that they want to interact with so much, or interfere with so much. I don't know. I've never seen another bushcrafter, at least bushcrafter, And I'm not going to say I'm the only one, but I've never seen personally, I've never seen another person interact with the wildlife when they're out in the woods as much as I do. You never see wildlife in their videos. Unless it's a random squirrel or some shit like that. You don't see them walking up and hanging out with a herd of deer. You don't see them filming, stopping a live stream just so they can get a couple of seconds of footage of a chipmunk sitting on a log right in front of them. They ain't doing that. They're not interacting with the wildlife. They're just going out there interfering with the wildlife. There's a difference. I don't know anybody, any other outdoors channel, that goes out there and interacts with the wildlife the way that I do. And I'm not just hunting. We're going to get to the hunting part. I'm going to be killing animals. But I spend the majority of the year trying to keep them happy and healthy and just watch them. And that's going to be a big contradiction with my channel. I spent 2 years now, almost 2 years now, with HB and his herd. And I love that fucking buck. He is a beautiful buck, and if a hunter was to see him, that would be the buck that they'd take. They'd kill him in a fucking heartbeat, and I do everything that I can to keep that sumbitch safe and secure and happy and healthy through the winter, because he's a friend. I see the Huntsman buck, that whitetail buck, and his herd as family. I've spent so much time out there with them, and just filming them and watching them and interacting with them and learning their behaviors, that they're part of the channel. They're part of my life. They're my friends, and I miss them when I don't get to go see them. I mentioned that in my last video that I was heading out to camp, and as I was driving to camp, I was like, man, I miss HB. I want to go see him. So I went to HB's house and just stopped by and see him, and there he was. That's my view of the wilderness and the outdoors. It's different. Because I want to be interacting with the wildlife. I want them close to my camp. I have the trail cam set up at camp most of the time. We moved it up to HB's herd because I want to get a look at his rack this year, a good picture of his rack. But I bring the wildlife into my camp. I don't repel them from my camp. I'm putting apples and shit like that for them out there all the time. Raccoons, possums, the groundhog, the chipmunks, the whitetail, the wild turkeys, all of that is right there inside my bushcraft camp. They're not pushed away from it where I have to hike to go see them. They're right there at the shelter. Oh, HB's going to make it. As long as I'm in that fucking woods, HB is a protected deer. If I see anybody, I don't give a shit I don't care if it's legal or not. If I see anybody doing anything in an attempt to hurt that deer, I will fuck that sumbitch up. That's my boy. HB's a friend of mine. You don't mess with that deer. We take him out food in the wintertime. We take him out mineral supplements. We keep the herd healthy. We interact with them at a healthy rate, not so much they're desensitized to human presence. They're a little desensitized to mine, but we know when to back away from them too and let wild animals be wild animals. You don't want to. You can get close to them, you can interact with them, you can get them used to your presence, but then, just like I did, sooner or later you have to step away to where they don't become dependent on you, dependent on your food supplements, or dependent on your presence in the woods, because that just changes the whole dynamic of the forest. You have to let the wild be wild. You can go in there for a while, you can hang out with them, you can earn their trust, and then you fucking leave. You don't overstay your welcome. It's a violation of the laws of nature. Be right back. Oh, it's getting a little dark here, guys, and I did not bring a lot of light out, so I do apologize if it happens to get a little too dark here on the stream. We're going to be wrapping it up soon anyway. I only intended to stream for about an hour, and that's just to announce the launch of our campaign. So right here, one more time, Indestructible Shoes got a hold of me. They sent me a pair of Indestructible Shoes. Rather than tearing them apart in a lab-style environment with power tools and nails and guns and arrows and running over them with my truck, we're going to take the Indestructible Shoes challenge, and we're going to drag it out over an entire year. During the year that we run the campaign, all of the kickback money that they would be giving me for promoting Indestructible Shoes as a product, anytime you use my discount code, you save 10%, and 20% of that sale goes to realtreeplanted.org, and we get to plant more than just one tree somewhere around the globe. We can monitor that progress on, I have a link. I have my own profile with OneTreePlanted.org, so I can go to my profile. I can monitor how much money we've donated to the program and where in the world on a live interactive map where our trees got planted. So if you use my discount code to buy Indestructible Shoes, that money gets turned over to One Tree Planted. We get an interactive map of where our trees are being planted all over the world. We see these little green dots pop up on this interactive map. If I sell one pair of Indestructible Shoes, if you guys use my discount code to save yourselves a little bit of money and donate to the campaign, we'll see these green little dots popping up on that map all over the world. That's our effort. That's our profit, is those green dots. One tree there, one tree there, one tree there. And that's something that goes on for generations. It's not just us that we're impacting, it's our kids and our grandkids. By buying a pair of Indestructible Shoes, I'm using my discount code, you're helping your children and your grandchildren live in a better world because we're planting trees with that money. We're not keeping it for ourselves. We're not whoring out to Indestructible Shoes as a company saying, yeah, we'll give you a free plug on YouTube, you know, and try to sell some shoes. I'm not going to do it. I ain't done it since I started my channel. I ain't going to do it now. I'm not on YouTube to make a living. YouTube is not my career. YouTube is not my job. And anybody that makes it their job is a fucking idiot because it's a temporary job at best. But the effort that we put in right now with this campaign is not a temporary job. It's not a temporary effort. It's not even a temporary fix. It's something that the trees that will be planted will last at least 100 years. That's something that we can be proud of. You get a discounted pair of shoes and the knowledge of and the proof that you planted trees all over the world. And you didn't have to do anything except press a damn button. So you can go down to the metadata of this live stream or any of my future videos. It'll be right there at the top of the description. The Huntsman Indestructible World campaign. The discount code is right there. The links are right there. If you do not want to buy a pair of Indestructible Shoes, you can go straight to onetreeplanted.org, donate $1, and have a tree planted and be part of the campaign. If you do that, if you don't want to buy a pair of Indestructible Shoes and have that commission money donated to One Tree, you can go to onetreeplanted.org, donate $1. Let me know in the comment section or in the community section of my channel. It doesn't matter where you comment at. If you could comment on any of my videos or go to the community section and comment on any of the posts saying, hey, Steve, I donated $1 to onetreeplanted.org today. I just wanted to let you know we got another tree planted. Let me know who is doing or who is making the effort in the campaign. If you have a YouTube channel and you say, hey, Steve, I like your idea with onetreeplanted.org, and this is my idea where we can maybe raise some more money and get some more trees planted, contact me. You can get my email address right there in the About section of the channel. It's huntsmanbushcraft@gmail.com. Email me and let me know if you think this is a good idea. Let me know in the comments of my videos if you think that donating proceeds or kickbacks from companies to planting trees is a good idea. I'm rough at times. I do not have an easy life. Yeah, my life is rough. But I'm used to it. Let's move out here where we got a little bit more light. Ugh. There we go. I'm gonna need my drink. Okay, we'll get a little bit more personal here. I have been through some shit in my life that's probably had a direct influence on my personality and my certain characteristics that stand out a little bit more than others. I've been through a lot of shit. I've lost a lot of people, and I've done a lot of things, not all good things. I'm honest about that shit. I'm honest to my antisocial behavioral syndrome. A lot of country folks are like that. Not tried them on yet. We're going to do that here in a minute, Jefferson. Actually, we'll do that while I'm bullshitting. You guys see me on my channel and I'm drinking and cussing and putting people down and offending people and calling people dumbasses all the time, arguing with people on social media all the time. That's just because I'm from a different generation, and the generation that I see now is pretty much fucked. And it's just tough love, for real. That's all it is. Even Joe Robinette. I've told people before that Joe Robinette was one of the people, was the first bushcrafter I ever watched on YouTube. He was the first guy that I seen out doing something that was close to what I used to do as a kid. Joe Robinette was one of the guys that influenced the start of the Huntsman series. What pissed me off about Joe Robinette is I got disillusioned on his hype, on his legend. And I got disillusioned when I learned about, and this was my first time being exposed to it, the business ass end of YouTube. You get these big YouTubers that you look up to, you kind of idolize, and you think that these are great people, honest people. Their content is PG-13, family friendly. They're just good people, all the way around, good person. You just can't find nothing wrong with them. These are the kind of people that you want to hang out with all the time. Well, that's Joe whenever the camera's rolling. Whenever the camera's not rolling, Joe Robinette is a cutthroat businessman son of a bitch. And I know that because I had a business dealing with him prior to the start of my channel that went south. And it went south because Joe, being the businessman that he is behind camera, figured that my channel and my style of content was going to cut in to his revenue stream, which it probably has, and people would figure out that Joe Robinette is not the person that he pretends to be whenever he's in front of the camera. He is so embedded into overpriced companies like Heavy Cover and Hidden Woodsman, who mark up their products to insane amounts where most people can't even afford it. He's so embedded with those companies, plugging those companies' products, that he can't get out of it anymore without risking his livelihood, because he's made his YouTube channel his primary source of income. So a guy like me is an extreme and dangerous threat to guys like Joe Robinette, TA Outdoors, Hidden Woodsman, all the people that are whoring out our way of life for profit. I am a threat. They hate my guts. They probably talk shit about me whenever they're camping together. And that's fine. I'm ready to be judged, because at the end of the day, those sons of bitches know that they ain't nothing but a bunch of YouTube whores, unemployed YouTube whores, who are not even employable anymore. They can't go to a legitimate employer and say, well, I was a YouTuber for the last 5 years. Well, that's great, Joe, but what else have you done besides filming camping videos? I mean, what have you done that actually applies to the fucking work that you're applying to? You know? Unemployable. They're fucked. Stephanie Margith. Here's another story. Oh yeah, but I mean they have a choice to make. That's their right. If they want to sell out to companies so they can make a tidy little profit and call themselves entrepreneurs, that's their choice. But it's a choice. It's not something that they were forced into. They have to sell their dignity in order to become that. And they have to whore you guys out. They have to make you guys believe everything that they're fucking saying. They have to make you guys believe in their legend and their hype and their credibility. They're snake oil salesmen. They know how to fool their audience. And their audience, Joe Robinette's audience, worships every fucking thing he does. He's bought them hook, line, and sinker, and they are too fucking stupid to see it. Stephanie Margith. Here's another one. Stephanie. I adored Stephanie Margith up until last night. Now, I've seen her, she was another one that inspired me because she drinks, she cusses, she's a lot like me as far as her presentation of the outdoors and bushcrafting goes. Stephanie's no bullshit. But over the course of the past year or so, Stephanie has also lost her fucking mind. Stephanie, I don't know what the fuck is going on with her, but she needs a psychologist. And I'm serious about that. That is not putting Stephanie down. Or she needs a better therapist. If she's on, she's probably on a bunch of fucking medications, you know, psych meds and fucking Xanax and whatever to control her little self. But Stephanie's mental health has degraded over the past year, and you can see that in her videos. she's losing her fucking mind, and it might be PTSD or something that happened to her. Maybe her uncle touched her funny. But Steph is cool. She is a cool girl, or was, but she's in this tailspin right now. So anyway, Stephanie last night posted this post up on Facebook saying that she is going to be deleting over 100 videos on her channel because she does not think that it accurately represents the person she is today. So and this is her own words. She said she considers herself an entrepreneur now. She considers herself a businesswoman, and some of her previous videos kind of shed a different light on that. She wants to be a little bit more professional. She wants to be a fucking sellout. And in order to be a sellout, in order to have a good reputation with overpriced companies, plugging products and, you know, making a profit off of your audience, she has to clean things up a little bit. She has to do a little PR work. So she's going to be deleting probably her most honest videos so she can re-promote herself as an outdoors entrepreneur. Now, to her fans, Stephanie Margith actually said this: "Before I delete my videos, you can buy them from me. And I will send you a link where you can download these videos that you purchased from me. But you can never publish them again. You can't use any of the content for anything." So Stephanie Margith actually went to her subscriber base and said, "I'm going to be deleting videos. If you still want those videos, you're going to have to buy them off of me. But even if you buy them off of me, you can never repost them anywhere ever again. They're just for your own private use. The only reason you're buying them is for your private collection. You can never re-release the content." And I'm looking at that, and I was like, damn, Steph. You're going to delete videos that you already got ad revenue off of. A lot of ad revenue off of. Probably kickbacks from companies off of. You're going to delete those videos. But in order for anybody to keep them who might want them for future reference, they have to pay you again, on top of the companies that paid you, on top of YouTube that paid you. You're going to make your subscribers pay you to keep content that they've already seen, when they could go to like keepthevid.com and download it for free themselves. You can download any YouTube video. Just go to YouTube Downloader on Google and you can download any YouTube video for free. Any fucking one of them. But Stephanie's saying, no, don't go out and download it for free. Pay me and you can download it, but you can never use it again. Well, I got news for you, Miss Stephanie. If I wanted to download any of the fucking videos on your channel, I would do it for free, and I'd republish them, and there's not a fucking thing you could do about it, especially after you delete them off of your channel, because after you delete them off of your channel, it's not reused content anymore. It's not even your content anymore. You have no say in that content after you delete it off of your channel and it's out from underneath your YouTube Short Partnership Program and all of the protections that YouTube has around your copyright. If you delete those videos after I've downloaded them, I could repost them and say, I could start a whole new channel that's titled Stephanie Margith's Deleted Videos. And they would all be on there. And there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. The only time you're copyright protected is if you got a fucking company behind you copyright protecting you. Or unless you go out and patent those fucking videos just because they have your likeness in them or whatever. You have to have legal protection. YouTube offers a certain amount of legal protection. Or at least if I was to upload one of her videos, some of the monetization would go to her. Because it's her content. Or I would get slapped with reused content. But if she deletes those videos, it's not reused content anymore. But Stephanie Margith, as much as I respected her up until last night, I could not believe that she actually went to her subscribers and said, purchase my videos before I delete them. So there's this rush to get Stephanie money. Because Stephanie's unemployed. The only money she's got coming in is ad revenue. So now she's deleting the videos that produce her ad revenue. In order to offset that damage, she says she's telling her subscribers to buy her videos. That's some bullshit. Videos that should be there for free. That's bullshit. I was so disappointed when I saw that. But like I said, Stephanie Margith, her mental state has gone to the shitter over the past year. She needs a new therapist because the girl's damaged. She's fucked in the head. And that's just another symptom of being fucked in the head. Crazy Crow. I'll have to check that out. Okay, we're going to try on the Indestructible Shoes and see how they feel. I wear a 9.5. Not too big. Ugh. So one pair. Man, I'm used to wearing high tops or boots. I'm not used to wearing low tops. I don't like them. I don't like low tops. They feel funny. I don't have the ankle support. In my kind of terrain, you need ankle support. You need hiking boots. You need something that covers your ankle and gives you that support. These are not good for my environment. But they do have that wide open space at the toe. I can feel that already. And that's just because they got that goddamn steel toe in them. Steel toe gets cold as shit in the wintertime. So Indestructible Shoes, whether you're hiking in the outdoors doing something, or you're just walking city streets, to be honest, you do not want to be wearing a pair of Indestructible Shoes in the wintertime because they are going to freeze your fucking ass off. You'll get frostbite on your feet from wearing Indestructible Shoes in the wintertime just because of that steel toe that's in them. Nice, I mean, they look good, but camo always looks good on Huntsman. I always wear camo. The soles are really hard. There's not a lot of give in the sole. Those soles are hard as hell. There's no bounce to them. There's no arch support, really, as far as I can feel. That steel toe is massive. The steel toe goes back like halfway. So it goes back to there, that far back. So that's good protection as far as steel toe goes. I mean, that's a good plate. And I've seen the damage that people do to that plate on the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. But this sole is hard as fuck. There is no give or bounce in that sole at all, which is probably why it holds up so well. That is some really hard fucking rubber. It's almost like the bottom of cowboy boots hard. But we're gonna test that tread out too. That tread on the bottom, we're gonna see how well that tread holds up, because my terrain and the way that I walk, we're gonna see how well the tread holds up on the bottom of these shoes over the next year. Anybody can go out and destroy a pair of these in 15 minutes, but if you go out and buy a pair of these, they're not cheap shoes, for real. Even with my discount code that you can get in the link in the description down below, they're not cheap. But you're paying for what's supposed to be quality. We got to do a quality insurance test on these. It's going to take us about a year to do that quality insurance test. So we are going to be checking the tread on this over the next few months and see what my terrain, all of the rocks, the river, the sand, the mud, all that shit does to the texture and the grip on the bottom of these shoes. And you can't do that in a 15-20 minute video taking a sawtooth. You got to wear them. You got to see how they hold up. Because if one of my subscribers go out there, they ain't going to go out and buy a pair of Indestructible Shoes just so they can tear a pair up themselves in their garage. They want to go out and buy a pair because they want to wear the fucking things for a year and know that they're going to hold up. That's what we're trying to get across. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And while we're doing it, we're going to be planting trees all over the world with the kickback that company would otherwise be putting in my pocket. I'm not putting it in my pocket. It ain't even going to come out of my account. It's going to go straight to onetreeplanted.org. And, I mean, that's the exchange. And in order to prove that, I will be taking screenshots of the commissions that I get for anybody that uses my promo code. I'm going to give you all the proof that you need that the money that you spent on these fucking shoes and the kickback that I got for them went to planting trees, and I'm not just sitting here bullshitting you. We're going to be taking screenshots. We're going to be taking those screenshots. Yeah, real world test over time, that's what you send it to Huntsman for. You send it to all those other namby-pamby sons of bitches to do a 15-minute video just like everybody else does. If you want a field test, I'll field test it. It's going to take me a year. So hang tight. We'll be taking screenshots of all of the commissions that I get for anybody that uses the discount code that's down in the description of this video to buy a pair of shoes. So you'll get a screenshot of my commission, how much money that I made by doing this campaign, wearing Indestructible Shoes. So you get a monthly screenshot of how much money I raised that month. You'll get a monthly screenshot of the deposit that went straight to onetreeplanted.org. And you'll get a monthly screenshot of the interactive map of where our trees got planted with that donation. So every step of the process, from my sales, from you guys using my code, to the donation, to the actual planting of the trees, will all be documented and released on the channel. I'll be releasing those primarily in the community section of the channel. We'll try to do it once a month. If I make one sale a month, then I'll take that sale, I'll go through all of the steps to get the money to, hey Christopher, I'll get all of the commission money to One Tree Planted, and we'll have all 3 screenshots. Here's how much money Huntsman made on the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. Here's that money donated to onetreeplanted.org. Here are the trees that we planted. With a sub-note, Huntsman should not be the one doing this. PewDiePie should be the one doing this. Anybody, Joe Robinette should be the one getting in touch of Indestructible Shoes saying, hey, send me a pair of shoes so we can plant some trees and get a whole new forest planted. Hey, man. So, that's Huntsman's spin on companies getting a hold of me to promote their products and give me a kickback. I'm going to take your kickback, I'm going to send it to a nonprofit organization that, 1, either helps restore the forest, or 2, protects the wildlife, because those are the 2 primary concerns, and those are the 2 primary focuses of my channel. We're always out in the forest, and we need forest to be out in, and we're always interacting with the wildlife, and we want to do everything that we can to protect them. So if you're coming at me as a company saying, hey, we want you to promote this product, know that any money that you give me for that product either has to go to wildlife conservation or forest restoration. And if you're not willing to donate to those 2 causes, don't fucking contact me with your product, because that's what it's going towards. I'm not trying to argue global warming. I'm not trying to argue anything. I'm just saying, if I make a profit on my YouTube channel, that money is going to be turned over to a nonprofit organization that, 1, either helps out the wildlife, or 1, helps out the forest. $80 on ammo today. Damn, son. I don't think I ever spent $80 on ammo. I go out and I buy 2 boxes of shotgun shells, and my arrows are free. I appreciate that, Peter. I'm just trying to be honest. I never started my YouTube channel to become an entrepreneur or an outdoors businessman. I'm not going to whore out my woods. I'm not going to whore out my deer. I'm not going to whore out my subscribers to some fucking company who's shipping products from China saying, you know, give us a free plug and we'll give you a free pair of this or a free this or a free that. No. And I'm sure as hell not going to sell out to a company offering me 20%, because Huntsman is worth a hell of a lot more than 20%. So, again, guys, one more time, I'm going to have to wrap this up because it's getting dark and I don't have the lighting out here to keep the stream going. One last time, and I know I've been repetitive, and I apologize for anybody that stuck with me this entire way. Indestructible Shoes contacted me a couple weeks ago and says, hey, Huntsman, we want you to try out our Indestructible Shoes, put them to the test. Whenever they came at me with that, I said it's going to take me a year, because I am not the type of guy to take these things out to my garage and cut them up with a star, do some publicity stunt for you. I'm actually going to fucking test out the shoes. So we're going to test them out for a year. We're going to see how the sides hold up, how the tread holds up, how the inner liner holds up through our terrain and our weather conditions for an entire year. They offered me a 20% commission for every pair of shoes that I sell. The way we track that is, if you guys use my discount code, you get 10% discount, I get a 20% commission. That 20% commission is being donated to onetreeplanted.org, and we get to plant trees all over the world, raising money between Indestructible Shoes and turning that money over to onetreeplanted.org. So I get nothing out of the exchange except the satisfaction of knowing that my subscribers did not buy into this snake oil shit. They did not buy into a hype video. They did not buy into a publicity stunt. Anybody that buys Indestructible Shoes with my promo code, I want you to only use my promo code and only buy a pair of these fucking shoes if you want to donate to OneTreePlanted.org and get some more trees planted and make the forest healthy again. If you don't want to do that, don't buy the shoes, because that's where the money's going to go. If you don't feel like, if you can't afford to buy the shoes, or you don't want to buy the shoes, or don't need to buy the shoes, please just go to OneTreePlanted.org, donate $1 single, that plants one tree. You're involved in the campaign at the same level that anybody that went out and bought the shoes. If somebody donates $100 to my PayPal account and says, and let's say a subscriber was feeling generous, and they get to my channel homepage and they hit the support the channel button right there at the top of the homepage, and they donated $100 to the Huntsman channel through my PayPal. And in that PayPal note, it says OneTreePlanted.org, or it says Huntsman's Indestructible World Campaign. Know that the money that you donated to support my channel, if you put a note in there saying you want that money donated through my channel to the campaign, that money is going to go towards planting trees. It's not going to go to me. It's not going to go into my pocket. It's not going to go into supporting my channel, because honestly, guys, I just go out to the woods and I film for free. It don't cost me anything to film my series. It don't cost me anything to produce my YouTube channel. I do it for free. It's the same camera. It's the same memory card. It's the same fucking Windows Movie Maker. I produce my entire shit for free. The only thing I have invested in is time, and I'm spending that time in the woods anyway. So, yeah, there's no money involved. If you donate to support my channel, that either goes to content accents like Backwoods Bourbon Cigars, or a bottle of Four Roses bourbon, or something that you see pop up in the videos. And it's fun, and it shouldn't be a lot of money. Do not donate a lot of money to support my channel. Do not donate a lot of money to support the campaign. You don't have to. $10 plants 10 trees. That's a lot of fucking trees. That's a partial forest right there. That's a good section of forest. I don't think I have 10 trees around my bushcraft build. So it doesn't take much. But it does take a community effort. Hey, cigars and bourbon, that's my thing. That's where, if anybody sends me a super chat, or they send like $1 super chat, or they send me money to my PayPal, it goes to cigars and bourbon. And whenever they see me smoking cigars and drinking bourbon on my stream, they know that they're the ones that did that. It is getting really dark out here, guys. I'm sorry you can't see shit. I can't see shit. Let's see if we can brighten this up just a little bit. Not much. It is dark out here. I did not bring any lights out here with me to keep streaming. I think we got the message across, though. So we are taking the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. But we're going to drag that fucking challenge out over a year to see if these shoes actually hold up in real life situations, not somebody's garage with a bunch of power tools. You know they're going to get destroyed. So we got them on. We're going to try them out. We're going to try them out for a year. All the money that we raise from you guys using my discount code, you save 10%. I get a 20% commission. That commission money gets turned over to realtreeplanted.org, and we get to plant trees all over the world through this campaign. So if you have your own YouTube channel, please try to do the same. Or at least release a video and mention, hey, Huntsman's doing the Indestructible World campaign, where you can donate money either directly to the campaign, or through my PayPal, or through Super Chat, or through buying a pair of the shoes, and we can plant trees all over the world. Just make a lantern out of moonshine. You know, I should have brought the lights out, but I didn't want to stream too long tonight. I'm tired as fuck. We got the message out there. Huntsman is taking on the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. It's going to take us a year to do it. Sorry, Indestructible Shoes, it's probably not what you had in mind. If you were looking for a free, plug, a 20-minute plug for your product for the Huntsman cannot be bought. I cannot be reasoned with. I cannot be tamed, domesticated. I still piss outside. So if you send me your product and you say, hey, we want you to take on the Indestructible Shoes Challenge, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to challenge your damn shoes, but we're going to challenge them over the course of a year. And all of that kickback money you promised me, that 20% commission for selling your shoes for you, because you don't want to go out and spend money on an ad campaign, we're going to take that money and we're going to plant trees, because we are spending most of our time out in the wilderness and we need some more wilderness to film in. So we're going to be planting trees all over the world thanks to Indestructible Shoes and their need to get cheap advertisement on YouTube. So, thank you guys for coming with me. It is too dark to keep streaming now. If I kept streaming now, you guys just be hearing audio and not seeing shit. You can barely see my ugly ass mug in the dark, which is probably better for your eyes. But we're going to go ahead and wrap the stream up right here. You can check the description down in this live stream to get all of the links. You can get my discount code. You can save yourself some money buying a pair of Indestructible Shoes if you want to buy a pair, knowing that if you do buy a pair, the 20% commission that they're going to give me is going to go to planting trees and do some reforestation all over the globe. So it's a community effort to get the forest back up and running, kind of recover from the wildfires and the disease that the trees are suffering from, and deforestation and logging. And, you know, everybody's house is made out of wood, but we need to replace that wood eventually, and this is how we're taking one tiny ass little baby step to do it. We're going to try to sell us some Indestructible Shoes, and all of that commission money is going to planting trees. If anybody wants to donate to the channel, if you don't send a super chat in one of my future live streams, if you hit the PayPal link, the support the channel link on the homepage of my YouTube channel, and you say plant some trees, just put that note in there, plant some fucking trees, Huntsman, know that your PayPal donation to my channel is going to go to planting trees. And I will make sure that you get a screenshot of your donation transferred over to onetreeplanted.org, and you will get a screenshot of the trees that you planted somewhere around in the world. So that's how we're doing the Indestructible Shoes Challenge. Sorry, Indestructible Shoes, I know it's not what you were expecting, but that's the way Huntsman does business. Can't be bought, you dumb sons of bitches. It's going to take us a year to test out your product, and you better hope these sons of bitches last throughout the entire year, because if we come at the end of this thing, at the end of next October, and they don't have no tread on them, or they weren't indestructible, we're going to be putting out a whole new type of video. So thank you guys for hanging out with me here. I hope you enjoy the future videos in Indestructible Shoes Challenge. We will actually have an extra playlist on the channel where we're beating the shit out of these shoes out in a real-time environment. And anybody that sends a donation to the channel or gets involved by buying a pair of the shoes themselves, we're going to be planting us some trees. We're going to be getting the forest back up and running with that. So with that, guys, I will see you all next time. Thanks y'all for coming with me.